Welcome, everybody. Today I am here with Deke Walker. Deke has been a good friend of mine for a little bit. We met about 2.5 years ago, and he is a bodybuilder, a personal trainer, and also a fitness manager. So I wanted you guys to I want to introduce him to you guys because he's got a lot of knowledge. As you can see, his guns are popping out of his shirt. So I felt I had to have him on board to talk a little bit about his story and what he's done to, get to that size. So Deke, tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you got started in the fitness.
So you're going to hear straight away from my accent that I'm born and raised from London, UK. I've now been residing in Florida for the last 2.5 years now. And I came here 2018, February 5th, which marked the day. And literally my fitness journey started probably about 13 years ago.
So how old were you when you started?
Sorry?
How old were you when you started?
When I really started going for it, I'd say definitely over 10 years ago, probably about 12 years, I really started taking it serious.
Nice.
I've always been very athletic. I played a lot of basketball when I was younger. I wasn't really like track and field and running track and stuff like that, but I played a hell of a lot of basketball. Even coming from the UK, it wasn't the most
popular sport,
promoted sport. No, so I was kind of looked at like the outlaw. Like, why are you
really
so into the NBA? Why are you playing basketball?
Everyone plays soccer over there, right?
Everyone plays soccer. That's what
religion
I mean.
over there.
Kind of like I was like the odd one out. I mean, I could play, but I wasn't good.
Yeah.
But I was great. Sorry, I was really good at basketball, and I took it pretty serious at one point. I played for local teams, stuff like that.
Position you play?
Shooting guard.
Okay. You didn't like the pass, huh?
I was a big Allen Iverson fan.
Yeah,
so
you didn't like the pass.
Yeah. I was like a runner and a shooter, and I had my whole crossover down and stuff like that. So that was the younger days, and then I started to work on myself, and I really got into fitness and building muscle. And the way that the journey started is I wasn't like in the best of shape, because most basketball players, let's be honest, they're athletic, but some of them are not in that great shape.
Right.
Even if you see them with their tops off.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are even a little fluffy.
Yeah.
And that's how I was. And
you're fluffy.
Fluffy.
Oh man.
Fluffy. Yeah, I was fluffy.
He was fluffy.
I wasn't fat, but I was fluffy.
Yeah.
And I was like obsessed with the look of these fitness models. And I was like, how do they look like that? How do they do this? How do they train? Stuff like that. And I started doing my research. And one day I was just like, I'm tired of seeing this. I want to look like that. And I was like, well, why can't I? I'm human just like them. Of course, genetics gonna, play a role, but let me see what I can do.
Nice.
And I went to school. I got qualified as a PT. So that was a little bit later, but I started going to the gym, lifting weights, doing push-ups, pull-ups, the whole 9 that I usually starts.
Yeah.
And literally from there, it became an obsession when I started to see the results coming.
How quick?
And that kind of stuff started to show.
So how quick did it take you to start seeing results? How quick did it take? Was it like kind of right away? Did it take you a little bit, or you just kept, following the process?
It's about within like the first 3 to 6 months, of putting on size and, seeing shoulders coming in traps and the abs start to show, because I never had abs. And I was like, why don't I have them? So I said, I need to train them. And it's not just about training abs. It's also about training your core and compound movements like deadlifts, squats, stuff like that. And even a lot of the guys with great sets of abs, we didn't train them necessarily as much as we think. Right. It's a full body movement, and you're very much aware with how compound movement works, because it's a multi-muscle joint movement where you're putting a lot of stimulus and pressure on the core via doing something like a squat or a deadlift, so that when the results started coming in, I became very obsessed with it. I have a very obsessive nature. The moment I put my mind into something, I do whatever I have to do. And I went from there. And it took me to where I am today of having that same mindset. And I said, I want to be great at this. I don't want to just be good. I want to be great. And then I got into competitions, and
That was my next
fortunately
question.
enough, I had a coach in, first competition was 2015.
Okay.
And I was fortunate enough to win that, my first ever show. I came in dry as a bone. You can see now, obviously, I'm still I'm in preparation mode for a show right now, which is in 7 weeks. So I have the old death face starting to come in, and my skin is very thin. Yeah, it's all part of diet, and I'm not really ingesting much fat right now, so the fat is just literally falling off me.
So how did it feel to win your first competition that you entered?
It was an amazing feeling. I literally put my entire being into that. And I said to myself, there's no reason why I can't win. Like, why not? Yeah. Why are you not going to be able to win? I have, everyone wants to be successful and everyone wants to be a winner in life.
Right.
For me, the type of person I am, like I said, if I put my mind to something, I do whatever it is I have to do in order to be the best at it.
Nice,
And
man.
winners win and losers lose.
That's
and
it, man.
I just want to win.
It's funny you said that, man, because it's plain and simple, man. You either win or you don't. There's no in between, right?
No, there's no in between. You, the only person that you have to ask at the end of the day is yourself. Mm-hmm. Did you put absolutely everything that you could have done to give it your all and your best throughout that time that you were preparing for whatever it is? If it's a basketball game, it's a soccer game, it's an American football game, whatever sport it is, you know when you look in the mirror every day and you say to yourself, I'm putting my all into this. And if you still don't get the result that you wanted, and at least you can turn around and be happy and said, I put every part of my being into that in order to get the result that I want or wanted. Fair enough, I didn't get it because of different variables. This person was better or whatever. Yeah. And if you can walk away from that with that mindset to say that, then you're fine. But if you know, no, I slapped off here, I didn't really have that much of a great diet. Yep. I let my training, I slapped off, blah, 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 blah. Then of course, that's when, you have to, kind of take that in the chin and say, that's the reason why.
Yeah, it's funny you said that. I was watching, I forgot what fighter it was, but he was a UFC fighter. And he was talking about being afraid for a fight. Now, of course, they're always afraid because you are fighting in a cage. But he was saying, when you start feeling fear, you got to think to yourself, did I train? Did I cheat on my nutrition? Did I rest properly? And if all those answers are yes, then you should be okay. You should be confident going into that fight. But if you really slacked off on your training, you slacked off on your nutrition, you definitely should be scared because of the preparation, because preparation does lead to confidence. So it's very interesting you said that too, because it's something that is across all different disciplines. It's always the same formula. So Deke, talk about your journey to coming to the States, because for the UK, you lived there most of your life. What was the process like coming to the States, and why'd you do it?
So it's all for the reason of my wife and my kids, and I've been with my wife over 10 years now. Nice. The way that we met, I'll break it down in the quickest way possible. Okay. She's originally from the UK. So she was born and raised in the UK, but she lived a short lifespan there. So she was there for about maybe 3 years. 3 years. And then she moved to the US and she built a life here. And then she was back and forth, going between the US and the UK. Throughout the years, and I met her 10 years ago when she was on her vacation in London, and I met her outside a music event, and I was she's cute, this, that, da, 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 da. And just started talking to her, asked her out on a date, and then literally the rest was history. Fell in love. She moved to London for me, so we can actually be in a relationship. And then we had, it started off as long distance, so it didn't work out that way straight away. Yeah. It was about 7 months being apart, and then she finally decided to London for me. And then we had kids, and one day, I'm really getting tired of London. I don't like it no more. I want to go back. to Florida, it's a better lifestyle. And I'm like, okay, I've always wanted to go to the States anyway. I've been an American boy at heart from a kid. Like all
Balling
my
out the
influences
NBA, of
from the way I
course.
dress, my NBA, all that kind of stuff. So I said,
Yeah.
this is like a match made in heaven for me.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, let's do it. So I got my green card and everything, and I decided to move.
Nice.
And at that point, you know, for me, I didn't really come over with much. You know, I had some money saved up, but I was still like, damn, like I'm moving to a whole different country. I now need to understand the variables and how to set up a foundation and a new life and take care of my family, because I was taking them from the UK and I had everything set up. Obviously, it's my country. I know how everything works, but the US is something completely different.
Right.
And I actually did this. I called LA Fitness. I don't think I ever told you this. I called LA Fitness from London one day. It's just random, because somewhere it's Fort Lauderdale, and it ended up being 10th Street. And I just said, hi, I'm calling from London. Is it possible to speak with your manager? And they came on the phone and they were all like, I said, you calling from the UK? I said, yeah. And I said, I'm literally going to be moving within the next couple of months. And I wanted to know if you have any positions available. And he said, yeah, we do. And, you know, when you come over, you know, we'll touch base again. I had a conversation with this guy. And literally the same week that I landed, I had my interview and I started working pretty quick after about maybe being here for about 4 weeks, waiting for my the social security card and everything.
Right.
And I got my job and worked my way up to the ladder. And
so that's when I met you, right?
Yeah. I came from, I was actually in Hollywood first. I was in Hollywood working there for about, I think 2 months. And it wasn't the best experience. I'll be honest with you. It was very hard to make money. And then it was too far. I lived in Tamarack. So
what was the job description? What were you doing at LA Fitness? Were you training people? Were you manager? What were you doing?
I was in sales. So I was doing a PTC, so a personal training counselor. So
entry-level sales position at LA Fitness.
Exactly.
Okay. And talk a little bit about, because you were a trainer in the UK as well, right? You were training people before you came over here?
Yes. So in fact, I've always been in the corporate world. I don't know if you know too much about that. So when I was in London, I worked for a company called Lyrico. So that was my 9-to-5 job, and that was account management. And then in the night, I would go to do my personal training. So it was
like accounting? Is that what you did? Accounting?
Account management. So it was for a company called Lyrico, and what they sold was stationery. But I didn't realize how much money was in stationery until I got into the business.
Of course.
You got to think I would supply, let's say, LA Fitness headquarters, their paper, their ink, their hand sanitizer, their coffee. Supplies. You got to imagine for an entire building and an entire, all their members of staff, how much money they're spending per month. There's thousands. So I would get paid, a commission for that, and also a salary. You got a company car, all that kind of stuff. And then that allowed me to be quite flexible with my timing, because it was all based on appointments. So once my appointments were done, I was going to go and do my personal training. So I actually had 2 jobs.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. So you came in fresh off the van from the UK, and well, not fresh because you've been here back and forth. And how was it, starting at LA Fitness and training and selling, training packages? How different was it for you? Was it something that you struggled with? Was it easy for you? Did you just flex on them and they bought, or how was it?
Listen, I'll tell you, sales in London and sales in the US are two completely different worlds. Two completely different worlds. In London, the people over there are very reserved. So over here, you have to be pretty blunt, pretty sharp, a bit sharky. You can tell people how it is. You cannot do that in London. No, it's a completely different dynamic.
You gotta button them up.
Huh?
You gotta button them up.
Yeah. Button them up, mate. That's what it is. Yeah. I use my accent to my advantage. So
here, right?
They wanted to listen to me talk, and then they saw the way that I look, and I was in shape, fortunately enough, stuff like that. So it helped. And then so I moved to Pompano Beach, and then I became Akeem's APTD, the assistant personal training director, and then I moved up and then got my own club in Cypress Creek.
Nice. So talk a little bit about that. What was the difference between working, with another PTD and then running your own club? Talk about that transition for you.
Boy, well, Akeem was a great mentor, and he still is till this day.
He was one of mine too when I first started. When I first got in the business, in the LA Fitness, he was my APTD.
See?
Yeah, so I know.
And I learned a lot from him. I mean, I'll be honest with you, there was many times I wanted to throw in the towel. And, he taught me off the ledge many, many times.
Yeah.
And he enabled me to, bring something out of me that I didn't really think that I had, to be honest, when it came to this job. Because it's a tough job, as you know. It's not easy. You have to be very, very strong-willed.
Yeah.
And it's definitely mind over matter. And it's not for the faint-hearted at all.
You're absolutely right.
And literally, it's a grind every single day. You're fishing for your food. If you do not put yourself out there and you don't hustle, you ain't getting paid. It's as simple as that.
Right. And you got how many kids that you got to feed? You have 2, right?
2 kids. I have a 6-year-old son who's about to turn 7 in just over a month. And then I have a 4-year-old daughter.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful family.
So, yeah.
So you got to hunt to feed the cubs, right? You got to go get the gazelle to feed the cubbies, man.
That's exactly what it is, man. That's what drove me every day. And, the transition from being an APTD, he showed me the ropes of what it's like to actually manage rather than just sell. Because then you're just going to end up being a glorified PTC if you're just riding all day, which is great. But then if you don't manage the back end of the business and understanding when numbers come off and people not paying their bill, then of course, then you don't get your bonus and so on and so forth. So he really showed me that side of things, and it enabled me to take what I learned from him, going to Cypress Creek. And then we was the number 1 in the district for
Before this whole thing happened, right?
Yeah, 6 months. We were the top.
Nice.
Stayed on top, man.
That's awesome.
It was a top club. And at one point, we was actually number 2 in the company.
Wow.
Yeah, we done very, very well.
That's crazy, because that's a club that was struggling for a long time before you got there. I think the last time that club was doing well was when Cedric was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they were saying to me. They said, well, the last time numbers were going up like this is when Ced was there.
Yeah. And that was like
so yeah, we definitely we definitely moved there. We made the world shake in in a short space of time.
The VP used to always say, it's never the man, it's never the land, it's always the man. Right? Because there's a lot of PTDs that went there and failed, but you were able to kill it over there, and I guess you earned that new PT spot they did for you guys. I think it was beautiful.
Yeah, oh man, I'm so happy that they what's the word? They renovated the club. They needed to, man, because it was like a prehistoric kind of Jurassic Park gym. With old equipment and rust running off it and all that kind of stuff. So I was just like, damn. So, but now to see what it is with brand new equipment, they've even got the brand new turf in there, tires and all that kind of stuff. It's great, just fortunate, there's this hope and fingers crossed.
Yeah.
That we get to go back in the gyms sooner rather than later.
Go back to the regularly scheduled programs. So talk a little bit about fitness in general. There's a lot of people that, want to compete, a lot of people that want to get into bodybuilding. You've been in the space for over 10, 15 years, right? Safe to say?
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you recommend for someone who's first starting out, who just decided, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to be a bodybuilder? How would you advise them to start?
Foundation first. Foundation. Never jump the gun. Never say, oh, I want to go on stage straight away and all this kind of stuff. You need to build a foundation. If you want to be great at something, you have to realize that you have to be very patient and things take time. Right. And all the work that you don't see is what matters, because when you see these people go on stage, you're seeing the end result. It's kind of like someone's album. Someone releases an album, you don't see the tears, the blood, the sweat, the hours upon hours of recording, how much takes that they had to do to hit that note or whatever it was. Or it's the same thing of how many reps that we had to do or how much cardio that we had to do in order to get that specific look. You're just seeing the end result.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a mindset that you have to have if you turn around to yourself and say, I want to be a bodybuilder, or if you want to be a bodybuilder for a lifestyle, that's a completely different thing where you can enjoy it. You can be a bit more flexible in your diet. If you want to take this as a career path, I'm not going to turn around to you and say it's extremely lucrative. There's a lot of money involved. If you are a trainer, then you can use these competitions to your advantage and, you know, let people see your work and how you can help other people. But if you want to be a bodybuilder itself, I'm not going to class myself as an actual bodybuilder. I'm not one of the Hulks. I'm classed as they'll class me as a mini bodybuilder for men's physique / classic. But even still, I say that, but then it's still kind of controversial because we still put in the same amount of work. I mean, I know I do.
Yeah.
I put in the same amount of work. I mean, I may not be as big as that guy because I train at a different capacity. I don't eat the same amount of food and so on and so forth. But I still put the same tenacity. I still put the same amount of heart and my being into that to get that end result. But basically, it's just building. What I'm trying to say, in essence, is build a foundation and get your body together first and build muscle. Let that be the focus in the beginning before you even think about jumping on stage. And then once you've done it for at least maybe a couple of years, then think about that if you want to go down that route.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Great advice right there. And so right now that, you know, gyms are closed, how are bodybuilders able to maintain their gains, man? What are you guys doing? What do you do?
I've had my moments already. Oh man, I've had my moments already. Even talking about it now, it's tough. Something as simple as that, as a gym being pulled away from you, is it really does feel like a luxury.
Yeah.
And to know it's not there anymore, that was my sanctuary. Like literally, it's not just about having people around. It's about being in that space, having your zone, and training with the equipment that you need, the right amount of weight, the machines or whatever, to have everything there without now having to be like, okay, let me go and get my broomstick and maybe tie some gallons of water, you know, to the broomstick and curl that. Let me run to the kiddie park and go on their monkey bars and start doing pull-ups and dips. It's crazy. But I've still been able to get some solid workouts in, fortunately enough, because I know a couple of people that I've trained with and they've already got some stuff at home. It's not, I'm not going to lie to you and say, yeah, it's absolutely amazing. It gets a little bit.
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
It's the same thing. It's just a barbell with some plates.
Yeah.
We don't have all the weight that we're used to lifting. No. But it's something is better than nothing at this point.
Interesting. So let's say the worst case scenario, you know, this lasts another year and a half where gyms are closed, right? What do you feel that would do to the bodybuilding industry? Do you think it would hurt it? Do you think it would stay the same? Do you think it might improve it?
No, it would hurt in a big way because you can't train the same.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to, you know, get a full-blown gym in your house or get all these machines and dumbbells. I mean, not everyone's going to really be able to afford this kind of stuff because no one's working. And you're not just going to use your unemployment money and, you know, blow it on gym equipment.
Right.
You know, stuff's expensive.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Obviously, me being in preparation for a show right now is showing the level of willpower and discipline that I have in order to still achieve what I'm achieving now.
Too.
Yeah. I'm still achieving really good results, solid results, although I don't have a gym. And that's going to really show and prove on the day of the show, because the shows are still going forward because they're in June.
Yeah.
And that's when my show is, by the way, it's June 6th.
Okay.
And also Southern States, which is in July. They're still set to go. They haven't changed anything. They have cancelled shows between March and May 10th. But other than that, all the other shows are set to go. But it's going to give people a different look because they can't train the same way. But it'd be interesting to see how people really did not slack off, or the ones that did and decided to still, you know, do what you can to still maintain the physique you have, or get something rather than just stop. I know people that have been like, nah, forget this, I'm not doing this anymore. It's too much. And some days, I will be very, very honest with you, I'm human. As much as I love this, and I have a very, very strong mindset, as I said. I'm on autopilot right now. I'm in preparation for the show. If I wasn't, I may be a little bit more lax, because it gets a bit annoying not being able to train the way that you want. I mean, I'll do something each day just to say that, you know, I'm active. But being able to not being able to train that I want, and not being able to lift weights. I was born to lift weights. Like, that's why I was made to lift. I can't lift anymore. It's not the same.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like,
so you're battling like an inner battle with yourself, because something you've been relying on for so long, and it's kind of like where, you know, when shit gets tough, that's where you turn to, right? You go to the weight room and you pump some weight, and you don't have that no more. So and it's also trickling down to your, you know, career as a bodybuilder. So, and I didn't think about it until I spoke to you, but this is probably, you know, hitting a lot of bodybuilders real hard.
Yeah. I mean, I'm online. I follow a lot of different people that are still in preparation for a show like myself. And I'm seeing people do the work. You know, they're going to, you know, a park. They've bought some dumbbells in their house, or they're doing whatever it is they can to still get some sort of the next closest thing to what it'd be like to be in a gym. And, you know, I let you in on something that happened not long ago. Where I live, there's a complex gym. It's like an apartment complex, right? And they left that door open. So it didn't look open, but I was like, you know what, I'm just going to walk past it and see if it opens. And it did. Wow. So the cleaner that went in there obviously didn't lock it. So I was like, damn. So I ran back home and I was like, babe, the gym door's open. The gym door's open. Like, I'm going to go and train, I don't care. And she was like, go quick before they lock it. I went in. I was in there for about 4 hours.
Damn, you went ham.
I didn't even realize. But the thing is, because I was like, I don't know the next time I'm going to get that. No, so I just did everything that I could. And I got tired towards the end, but it felt so amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. We don't more being able to use a cage, you know, really load up a bar with weight and stuff like that. I was like, damn, this is amazing. Wow. Even the smallest things of interacting with people. I know we're meant to be social distancing right now, but, you know, let's call it a social distancing workout. It was 4 of us. It was me, Akeem, my coach Ishmael, and another one of our friends, Hamilton. We all trained together in the gym anyway. He's got the stuff at his house, and usually it's the 3 of us. Akeem decided to come yesterday, and it was just a good time, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, it was, you know, human interaction is important.
Like, it really personally, is. A lot of people, like for me personally, a lot of people don't like going to the gym when it's packed, but I honestly like it. I like having a lot of people there working out. I like to see people who are in shape. It motivates me, and I like that type of atmosphere. So I can definitely see what you're saying, but especially for you, you know, it's on a whole nother level.
Yeah, it's different now. It's for me, it's a question of when.
Yeah.
And, you know, when will things change? I'm not going to turn and say, is it going to go back to normal? Because this is kind of the new normal. Yeah. When people do go back to work, things are going to be different. I mean, going to Walmart now, or Publix, or any store, you've got to be wearing a face mask.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So these are the things that we're facing now. Right. And what we're having to deal with. This is the reality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
it's crazy what's happening. And, you know, hopefully we could get that vaccine as soon as possible. And that's when I think it's going to be safe.
I don't know if I'm taking that.
I don't think I would take it either. But for like business in general, you know, it'll ease everything. And I think that's when things can start going back to normal, when there is a vaccine. But yeah, I'm with you on that, man. I don't think I'm going to take a vaccine either.
No, not for me. I mean, my kids, we were very strict with that. And, they tried giving my kids certain vaccines and stuff, and they're fine. And, we declined it. I mean, all they're going to be simply doing is giving us the coronavirus. And that's what a vaccine is. That's what they'll be doing to see our bodies handle it. And, I'm a realist, and I'll be honest with you. There's many people that we know, and even ourselves to a certain extent, we could turn and say, maybe we already had it.
Yeah.
And we just didn't know. Because I remember before this really started, there was a point where there's a lot of people getting sick. I remember it. Guys that were coming to the gym that I know, and they would take like a week off.
Yeah. My sister
and they'd be like, yeah, I got really weak and I was coughing and all the same symptoms of the coronavirus. And maybe that was it then, and it was creeping in, and then people got over it. But you got to think how many people that have it. Like, I'll give an example. NBA, Donovan Mitchell for the Utah Jazz. Right? He's their star player. He's had it for months, and he's alive and kicking. He's on social media. He's on Instagram Live. He's doing his workouts every day. It's how your body will handle it. If you're healthy, your body will probably take it and then spit it out. Not necessarily straight away. You may have some kind of, cough, or you may feel a certain way, but other than that, your body will get rid of it. So someone that already has a lot of health conditions, coronavirus will attack you and it will try and break you down. But for someone like me and you who's already active, we're fine, to be honest with you. I genuinely believe that. I mean, you got to imagine, we don't know. Even when we go out on the street, we put gas in our car. People are not thinking, oh, let me put my gloves on all the time. We're touching things that people have already touched. We are, naturally. So we don't know if we've actually already had it and it's passed through our system, or if we haven't had it yet, whatever. This is all just hearsay, but this is, this is just my theory on it. I just feel that people that are healthy, they will be fine. People that already have health conditions, then they would need to worry.
Right. And I think so too, but I've also heard some cases where even young people are getting it. So it's like one day it's like, okay, if you're young and healthy, you're okay. And then one day I hear like, wait, this guy was 20, he was okay, and he still, had a rough time with it. Because I had a lady, because I do real estate, and I'm leasing a medical office, right? And she right now is working at the hospital. So I've been talking to her because she's contemplating whether to move forward with the lease or not. And she was telling me, she goes, hey, Anthony, like, don't. And of course, she's in there every day. So she sees it. It's in front of her face, like live action every day. So of course, it hurts a lot, more exaggerated. But she's out there and she's like, yeah, Anthony, I would suggest you not really to go out unless you really need to. Because she's like, I'm seeing young people that are getting hit with it. And there's this one kid that I don't think he's going to make it. So I don't even know what to think, but. Because, of course, there's always special.
It's a tough one.
Yeah. But I was going to ask you,
I think
with all this being shut down, is online training something that you're going to look, maybe to do in the near future?
100%. I mean, this has definitely sparked a lot of ideas. And one of the reasons why that I'm doing the competition, sticking it out, is because I want to use this to launch my brand and actually going back into the online coaching world, because I did do a lot more personal training when I was in London, of course, and I actually had online programs then, and I was heavily into it. But then, I took a long break because I came over here and I had to, change careers. Even though it was fitness, I wasn't necessarily doing personal training. I was selling personal training, and I decided to
takes
do
a different
that
mindset
being
too.
Personal training.
It's a different mindset.
Completely.
Yeah.
Completely. So most definitely. That's something that I'm going to be not looking into, already have been. Yeah. And something that I want to start, very, very soon.
Yeah. And to touch on what we were talking on before we started the podcast, is I think a lot of industries, not just fitness, are going to start leaning towards online work and online economy, because some companies are even realizing that they don't need to rent out an office, because they start doing appointments through Zoom. They're closing deals through Zoom. So I think this is going to be like the first step to opening people's eyes of what is possible with online businesses, and transitioning into a virtual reality as well. That's going to be
be able to work. 100%. You're going to be able to work from home. Yeah. A lot more. I think now there'll probably be a lot more more of a lenience towards
Yeah.
that.
More
I think,
remote.
honestly, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, that was how my job was when I was back at home. That's why
Oh
I was
yeah.
actually able to do both.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than going in to see going in for appointments and meeting with people, sometimes I didn't need to, and it'd be done by email or phone call, and it'd be
Yep.
and then I'd go and train a client. You know what I mean? So if I can do something similar now,
Yeah.
then why not?
That's awesome.
You
Man.
know, everyone's not everybody. I can't speak for everybody because some people they actually haven't been affected financially, and they haven't been affected
Right.
via their occupation, their job. I mean, I look at the music world. Music never stops. People are just creating music in their house.
Law enforcement,
Top producers in the
medical
world, they have a
field.
studio.
Yep.
Yeah, those things just keep going. Nurses, people that are on the front line right now, firefighters, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But people like me and you, you know, you're a personal trainer. I'm a personal training manager. We need a gym facility for that.
Yeah.
You know, but now we will be leaning towards more of an online approach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just purely based on circumstance. And if this works out to be better for us, we're a lot more financially stable, then personally, I wouldn't see why I would need to go back to working for the man.
The man,
or
exactly.
someone else. We become the man. We're going to become our own man.
Exactly.
Our own boss.
That's the key,
You know
right
what I mean?
there, man.
Take everything from there. That's what it is.
Right there. Yeah. Awesome, Deke. Man, well, thank you so much for coming on, man. You spilled a lot of knowledge, put me on a lot of game. I think this is going to be helpful for a lot of people, a lot of aspiring bodybuilders. So thank you so much, man. And where can people find you? What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is DWalker_. That's my British way of saying it. If you want to put on a little American accent, it's going to be DWalker_.
Walker.
Which is what it's going to be. Yeah, DWalker_. And my Facebook page is DWalker Fitness. And those are the two main platforms that I really use, to be honest with you. I put all my latest posts on there, my workouts that I'm doing at the moment. Actually done the last video that I put out was a tricep, it is an arm day, tricep, palm tree, tricep extensions. Got a lot of love for that.
Awesome, man. Guns out, you know when sun's out.
We're forced to be creative.
Have to, man. Yeah. Have to, man. Awesome, brother. Well, thank you so much, man. And hopefully we do this again.
100%, brother. Thank you very much for having me. And we're definitely going to talk soon.